Hi, my name is Bobby Ågren. I have this barbershop slash retro game and toy shop. It's called Ruben and Bobby. I've been having it for 8 years. Actually, at this location for 3 years. Before that, I was 5 years in the next street.
What's so special about this shop?
The thing that's special about this shop is that it's like you can see, it's quite full with all retro 80s toys and video games. And I think the concept of putting it together with a barber shop, I think that's quite unique. Everyone can come in with old Game Boys or Dino Riders, He-Man figures and trade it for something else or get some money for it or a haircut. So it's also a trading station, but also a place to hang out and have fun and dive into all the memories and the nostalgia about all these things.
I see you got some pinball machines back here. So, I mean, what do people come for? The games or the haircuts?
Mostly, we are two hairdressers here, me and my colleague Sasha. So haircuts, that's the main thing. That's what that's what our passion. But I also have a passion for old pinball machines and old arcade machines. And people come in here also to play arcades and pinballs. They pay 50 kroner per hour and then they can just play as much as they want. Yeah, so a lot of people that come here, they're into to this stuff also. They collect or maybe games, maybe toys. But I think the majority, they just think it's inspiring or quite fun to see all these things. Some they can get inspired to a haircut or something like, I want the same as this one, or just get inspired in general, you know. But a lot of people are not. They don't collect. They just think it's a fun place to be, you know.
So how many people actually come in and ask for a haircut like Papa Smurf?
Papa Smurf. I can't see. I don't know his hair, but most people they I don't think they point at Papa Smurf or a He-Man or Prince Valiant or something. I think most people they come in with some other idea of a haircut.
Okay, so why don't you tell me the story behind the He-Man?
In here, yeah, this is where I do my cutting. So this is like that's my place. So it's filled with, of course, with most of the with a lot of the figures that I'm most fond of. So some of the figures they can be hard to part with. Yeah, for example, this it's a bootleg He-Man figure, so it's not even original, and the value is not that much. But for me, you know, some things they can have more value than like what the value is on eBay. So this one I got from a Mexican collector called. He's a YouTube guy. I think it's the Maniac Collector or something like that. So he came to make a video about the shop, and then he gave this as a gift. And so right now I'm asking 700 kroner just to try to scare people away from buying it. And it's been a success. No one's bought it yet.
So 700 kroner in dollars. That's. $100. Okay.
100 plus something, yeah.
Okay.
But
have you ever thought about putting it on eBay or something? See if you get more.
No, but on eBay it wouldn't fetch such a high price. It's just, you know, the value that it has for me, you know. And sometimes things, it's not the money value. It's more of like what you think of it, you know. If you got a gift from someone, it's hard to put a price on it. But I'm trying, like, everything should be for sale in the shop.
Tell me about this little thing.
Yeah, I got this nice present also from a Swedish guy called the Papas Parlor, or Perler. So he makes these, what's it in English? It's beads. He does stuff in beads. He's really, really cool. And he made a pop-up shop here in my shop and gave me this as a gift, and it looks quite similar, I think.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Danish bling.
Yeah. I should actually put it on. I need to wear it more, I think. So and this is out here. We do we wash the hair, and there's also a back room out there. And then Sasha's.
What, can you tell me about this quacky thing?
Yeah, this is a blow dryer.
Do you actually use that on people?
Yeah, it's actually like it's quite rubbish actually. So mostly just for the fun of it, you know. And this is a blow dryer also. I got this as a gift actually I did a collaboration with Urban Outfitters years ago, and they sent me this as a gift because they knew I had this one. So if anyone has one more or like even more, then I like to collect, as you can see around here. So I did one. It was I did a pop-up shop. I think it was 4 years ago in Marble Arch. They opened a new Urban Outfitters. So they actually recreated my whole shop with arcade machines and pinball and toys. And I was there for 3 days cutting people who won like a contest on Instagram and stuff. But they were really nice and I had a private driver driving around, and they sent me stuff, and it was actually like, yeah, thumbs up to Urban Outfitters.
You were like the bomb there.
Yeah, I felt like the bomb in a weird way, but yeah, you get funny experiences sometimes having.
Occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally. I don't know if you want to see more in here. I could show you more. I should show you that I have prizes. You know, I should show you this trophy. This is actually the most ugly looking, but it's the trophy I'm mostly fond of. It's the second place on the Danish Championship in pinball last year.
Oh wow!
So it's glued here because my children did destroy it after 6 hours in my belongings. So that's like how it is to have kids. But it's also pinball trophies, one bowling trophy and small arcade trophy.
So what is your favorite knick-knack or collectible that you have here?
I think the most beautiful figure, and the one I always feel really sad if I don't have this in the shop. This is an android body from Turtles. It's Krang's android body. I like this evil brain thing here. I used to have nightmares as a child. He talks like, and he has this big baby thing. But it's just one of the reasons that I collect toys, retro toys, is that I like how it looks, you know, the aesthetics of it, and the colors, and I think it's beautiful art piece almost, you know. It's hard to make an action figure that's more cool than this one, I think. But I like all these things. The things I want to have in my shop is things that I think is cool and interesting, or I like how it looks, or I like the feelings I get looking at these things and playing with them, you know. I had this one as a child also. So it's also about nostalgia. It's also about the things you had as a child. But it's also about just weird things, like I'm a hairdresser, and then it's fun to have like weird scissors, you know. They would be really, really bad to cut hair with this one, but maybe one day I have to open it and try it out.
Maybe next video we do.
Yeah. I should have done it, yeah.
So do you get any like haters that, people are like, what are you doing here with, you're a grown man with 3 kids and you got this.
Yeah, grow up. I get some, you can say I get some haters. I think some people think this is like just ridiculous to be a grown-up man and collect children toys and play video games, like grow up and get a job and a haircut, you know. But I think the way I see it most is that a lot of people get frightened away to go into the shop and get a haircut because they think maybe he just only cuts like a really weird bob cut, or like a Prince Valiant, or only weird mullets, you know. So I think in that regards, I think some people, they see the shop and they think, okay, this is a weird, and he only cuts weird hair, you know. So I think in that regards, it can be a bad thing to have a weird shop like this one. But but it's also some things that I'm into. So people who also thinks who are into these things or just think it's funny and maybe they don't care, but they just think that I'm cutting their hair good, you know. Then they go in here. So I don't have many like really old ladies. I mostly normally I say I have like 1/3 of my customers is nerds, and 1/3 are like creative musician, artist kind of people, and 1/3 is normal people. So.
And when they come in, are they just looking for a break, or are they looking for? I mean, are they coming in for what reason besides a haircut?
Quite a lot just comes for the haircut, and it goes like mouth to mouth, and they tell like, oh, he's a good hairdresser, come in and get a haircut. So that's the main people, the main customer I get here. And then a lot, they just think it's really nice, and some it's just nice to be here, like the atmosphere that is chilled and fun, you know. And then, what was the question again?
That was a minute ago, I forgot.
Yeah. And also some are really into the gimmick of the things, and some don't care at all. You can also, while you get your haircut, you can play video games. Right now it's Super Star Soldier on this weird system called the PC Engine. So people they can sit here and they can play this one, and if they beat the high score in the video game, they get 20% off their haircut. So a lot of people they don't like the normal hair salon or barbershop where they have to like talk about the weather or talk about gossip and read bad magazines, you know. They can just sit here and play some video games, maybe beat the high score, maybe talk about like some nerdy stuff, maybe don't talk, you know. So I think there's a lot of people who are fed up with like a white salon or like the normal concept of how a hair salon or like how a barbershop should be, and they like that it's different and more chill, and you can talk about other things than the Kardashians or something like that. Yeah.
So what is the main topic of conversation when they come in here? Is it the nostalgia, the games, I mean, the web.
Yeah, I think it can be I think the conversations often go around these kind of things. It can get triggered, you know. You can see a ninja and you get triggered and you think about like, oh, I had a friend when I was a child, and we dressed up as ninjas and we throw apples after whatever, you know. Someone can they get like a memory or something.
They go up down the street they didn't like.
Yeah, or talk about like new video games coming out or old games that they just completed. But also, I don't know, it's you can talk about whatever.
So in this shop, it is your own thing. It's your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's important. So, what? Let me send this side. So what? You've done your own thing. It works. So what advice do you give people that are and ahhing about stuff? What are what is the one piece of advice you would give people?
If they want to open their own place, or what?
In general.
Oh, if I should get an advice. Advice.
You've done this. You've done it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your advice to people?
Oh, okay. My advice to people, like what I found out, if I should give an advice to people who wants to do something who's thinking about which direction to go, I think. Let me think about like how to say it. My advice to people is that they should just do what they're passionate about. And I'm passionate about cutting hair, and then I also collected old retro toys, old video games, and I was like, okay, let me put my passions together and then start up small and don't have a too big a budget. You know, you have to also in the beginning not have a car, and you know, like not live. Just for me, it's normal to not have so much money, and then of course now it's going better and have a bit more money. But if you're used to living cheap I think that's a really good concept of life. If you want to start something weird, or if you want to have a good life and to be able to choose. I love my work here, and for me that I could choose to live my life like this and have a relaxing work life, cutting hair and selling cool stuff, I think maybe the number one rule is to just live cheap and go after your dream.